time to rev it up and roll with America's premier motorcycle talk show. Open Road Radio is on the air with Gina Woods and other guest hosts. And now, with riding on their minds, here's your hosts of Open Road Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome to Las Vegas, K-Shop 1400 AM and 107.1 in Las Vegas, Sin City, and Chicago, our newest station, 92.5. And I am here in the Full Throttle Law Studio with the founder and CEO of Full Throttle, Mr. Jared Richards.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome to the show, Jared.
Thank you.
We've had you on a few times as a guest.
Yeah.
And tonight you are my co-pilot of Open Road Radio tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is great.
We are so excited to have you. And I know you're staying after school tonight.
Yes, indeed.
I won't have you cleaning erasers or anything like that. However, you're going to hear in just a little bit, Jared is going to have some tips and tricks on what you should do in the event you are in an accident, on scene, in the moment, what you should do. So you sent me a message this weekend, you and our great guy behind the scenes, Greg, about what was cooking this weekend. And I made a big old seafood tower.
Yes, you did.
What did you end up cooking?
I copied you.
You did?
I copied you.
Oh, okay.
I went and I bought the same stuff that you did.
All righty.
And we had a seafood tower of our own.
Okay.
Slightly differently prepared.
All right. And so you had sent a message. How do you pick crab legs? And Jared, at the end of the day, what was your strategy to choose the crab legs?
I feel like you cheated a little bit. I feel like the photo you had of your crab legs, you cut and pasted it over somebody else and made it about 3 times as big as they really were.
Everything looks bigger on camera, Jared. That's why when you go fishing and you catch a fish, you hold it in front of you like this, so it looks gigantic. So maybe there was a little cheating.
Maybe a little bit there.
Just a little bit. So this weekend I was out in Pahrump. We had Kim on with us last week on Motorcycle Mondays talking about their brand new shop out in Pahrump, Nevada. It's called Over the Hump Bikes and Trikes. So I was out there on Saturday and they had a beautiful crowd. I mean, they really had a great turnout out there. So, you know, Kim, she is an Army veteran, and about 4 years ago, she was in a bad motorcycle accident. And after about a year of trying to save her leg, unfortunately, she did have to have it amputated. And so that tragedy kind of spelled out the end of her riding days, but she was not going to let that happen. So part of what makes her who she is she's super, super strong. And so she got back on a street glide as an amputee, and now she works hard. One of her passions is to help other amputees get back on their bikes. So she went to school, she became a technician. That's her and her husband. And he also did blessings of the bike out there and blessing of the riders. And he gave these really cool coins out to everyone, but it was a great turnout.
It's interesting. I find that there are a lot of people that I guess I don't know a lot of people who lost legs, but I know a number. Yeah. And there is a certain amount of confidence that they get when they overcome that fear and they get back on the bike. And it's a very personal decision. I respect either decision they want to make, but you know, it's it can add a lot to your life.
Yeah. And it's a great therapy. You know, everybody talks about wind therapy, whether, you know, it's physical, mental, and we do see a lot of success with riders that do have an opportunity to get back on their bike. So
a little interesting thing. So if you grew up in Vegas, you know that Pahrump, the phrase is over the hump to Pahrump. So you have to go up through this valley, up over this hill and back down. And so that's what I assume this means. Over the hump, bikes and trikes.
Absolutely.
They're in Pahrump.
Yeah, so you kind of have to go through the pass over Mountain Springs, make a little stop at the Mountain Springs Saloon, have a taco and a and a cold
Right.
beer, and then head on out to Pahrump. So anyway, was very successful. We enjoyed being there. Thank you for having us. We got to see Piggles. They also run a potbelly pig rescue there. So you can stop by and see Piggles if you would like.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jared, sadly, we here in Las Vegas and across the nation have been seeing an uptick on motorcycle accidents, car accidents. People are more distracted than ever. So, you have some tips on what we can do in the event that we are in an accident.
Sure. It's riding season. We have more people out on bikes, and unfortunately, we have more and more people that are not paying proper attention on the road, either because they're texting or they're doing other things on their phone. The phones really are a huge, huge distraction in those cars. So we do see a lot. Now, what happens if you are in a wreck? Well, I guess we have a couple of different possibilities. If you are in a wreck and you are okay, and I say okay, what I mean is you're not in an ambulance on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It doesn't mean you're quote okay, but you're able to stick around for the police and talk with them. Well, at that point, there are a couple of things you ought to do. First of all, take pictures. Take lots of pictures. But actually, I'm going to say the first thing I would do is, and I've done this, is take your phone and make sure that you're in a state where you have a one-party consent rule, which we do in Nevada, and just put your phone on record. Go up and ask the other person what happened. Because you'll find that a lot of times the people will say something different initially.
Right.
Then they tell the cop or they tell the insurance company. I can't tell you how many clients I've had that have come to my office and said, "Oh, don't worry. I know what the police report's going to say because I know what the other guy told me."
And they're very different,
yeah,
right?
He told you something very different than what he told the cop or what he told his insurance
company. The big
company.
case I remember where I think he said, I wouldn't have changed lanes, or I wouldn't have been in that lane. I don't know. The one that we did, we went out on near the boot barn and did that recreation, and what he said on the camera wasn't what he said.
Right.
And
it's very, very
different.
different. And so the first thing you do is I really would, after you make sure everybody's okay and nobody needs an ambulance. If you need an ambulance, grab an ambulance, call 911. But once those initial things, the ambulance is called, police are on the way, talk to the other person and ask them what happened. Just make sure you're recording it. Number two, don't give up as much information. You're always a little more powerful when the other person's talking. When the police come, you've got a couple of choices. You can talk to the police or not. Now, if you choose to talk to the police, make sure that you have your story straight. And now may be a good time to call a lawyer. A lot of people have my cell phone, and I actually get these calls. I'm about to talk to the police. What do I say? And then, we walk through, okay, well, what happened? Because if you talk to the police, then you have a chance of the police going your way. If you don't talk to the police, that's fine. And if you're flustered, you don't feel confident about talking to the police, then don't. But your chances of getting the ticket subtly increase. The danger, though, is when you talk to the police, your words are set down in stone. And there are a lot of times where you think it happened one way, turns out it happened another.
I'm just going to say it wasn't my fault. I'm just going to keep repeating it over and over, followed by call Jared, call my lawyer.
And listen, we can reverse what the police do. In fact, we do a lot. The police get it wrong all the time. Maybe not quite 50% of the time, but a lot of the time. They get it wrong, especially when it comes to motorcycles. And we get that overturned a lot in the courts. But if we're talking about an out-of-court settlement, insurance companies, they tend to follow what the police say. And so it does matter what you tell the police.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, you, however, are certified as an accident scene
instructor. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So now I've given kind of the legal side. Oh, I guess one more thing. Take pictures. I know you think that you've taken enough pictures. I promise you, if you're, again, up and able to walk, or if you're there with a buddy who's down, take about 10 times as many pictures as you think is important. And take pictures of the bike, take pictures of the road, take pictures of the injuries, take pictures of the intersection, take pictures of if there are slide marks or any sort of scrapes on the road, take pictures, give us and try to put something in the picture so we can have some perspective as to how big how big the picture is, how big the scrape marks are, because we can glean a lot of information out of those scrape marks, but only if they're preserved. And a lot of times people come to me 6 months after the wreck and they say, "Hey, Jared, I was in a wreck. Can you help me?" And well, by that time,
Yeah, absolutely.
the evidence is gone.
Yeah, skid marks are gone. And I know sometimes they'll say, speed was a factor. And,
Yes.
it seems to be in every report I've ever
But
seen.
the problem is
Speed
that
is a
speed's almost
factor.
always a factor at
Yeah.
some level. I mean, if you're going too slow, it's a factor. If you're going a little too fast, and the police, it kind of depends on who you are. It also depends on what you look like.
Mhm.
If you look like somebody the police don't like, speed is written as a factor a lot more often than if you don't look like a person
And
they're
there can
interested
be
in.
200 feet of skid marks from somebody that's just going 50 miles an hour
Yeah,
trying to stop.
there are a lot of variables,
Yeah.
and the studies that they use to determine that speed have a lot more variability than the police like to admit.
Okay.
Like a lot more variability. So, but I would say one of the things though is if you have the number of a lawyer who actually picks up the phone and will answer 24/7, call him or her
Immediately from the
immediately.
scene.
Yeah, just call from the scene.
absolutely.
There have been plenty of times where I get called from the scene. I go to the scene and then I help document so that I have an idea of what happened. By the time I get there, most of the time my clients are on their way to the hospital, but at least
Right.
then I can have an idea of the wreck. Sometimes I can interview the other people, the witnesses who are there, and I can take the measurements and I can preserve the scene. And yeah, I mean, the next day I can send out engineers to do the same thing. But, there have been various times where, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm off
Yeah.
driving
Yeah.
to an accident.
Well, and most accidents happen on the weekends when,
Yeah,
lawyers are
do.
off. So it is a really good idea that if you do have someone that you trust, that you do try to establish a relationship where you do have their cell phone. Jared, I just want to publicly thank you for everything that you do in the community. There's been a ton of photos up there. Thank you, Gina, for showing some of those things and ways that you also get involved in the community. Jared, you are a writer.
I am.
So all of the advice that he's giving also comes from being a writer. So if you have any questions for Jared about accidents or things, you're welcome to send an email to info@fullthrottleLaw.com.
We're happy to answer them.
We absolutely are. Okay, so Gina is at home this evening, or I'm sorry, she's out on the road with her granddaughters, grabbing some time with them. Gina, we want you to have a wonderful, wonderful time. And Penny FXR is just getting back from a full 10 days out in Sturgis. She had an amazing time, a great trip, and we can't wait till she gets back next Monday to give a full recap on her week out in Sturgis. All right, K-Shop 1400, 107.1, and Chicago 92.5. We are going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we will be right back. Corey,
Motorcycle accident? Call Larry. Larry Disparty and the team at the Disparty Law Group know how to win motorcycle accident cases. Proudly serving bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin, Larry knows the law and he knows how to win. Insurance questions? Call Larry for a free policy review. And now Larry is giving away an incredible custom bike. Enter for a chance to win at the Brower House Tire Swarm Car and Bike Show every Thursday night. There's a reason why Disparty Law Group has been named one of the most influential law firms in the U.S. and has won more than $1 billion for their clients. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call Larry Disparty at 312-600-6000 and find out why bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin say Larry wins. Now, let's ride. Patriotic or personalized, Lumiflag adds a hint of illuminated safety showcasing your personality. Fits securely on your half-inch motorcycle luggage rack bar. Get one and change out the flag pullovers for your rally rides. Lumiflag is a new product offered exclusively with Open Road Radio. Order now for just $39.99. Lumiflag is made in the USA, assembled by young adults on the autism spectrum. Lumiflag offers them a chance to develop job and life skills, create professional connections, and foster independence. Go to www.lumiflag.com to order now. Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact andrewsproducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And we also would like to send our deepest condolences out to the family of John Andrews, Andrews was truly a pioneer in the industry. You will be missed, and we want to send our condolences out to his family. So welcome back, Las Vegas. We have in the green room right now our next guest, Susan Fischer and David Sherer, and they are going to come on and tell us about a wonderful event that's coming up called the Ride for Recovery. So if you would please welcome Susan and David to the show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Open Road Radio. Susan, tell us a little bit about what the charity is and who the beneficiary is going to be for Ride for Recovery.
Sure, thank you so much. It's for Bethany Recovery Center. It's a 30-bed residential treatment center for women. It's located in southeastern Wisconsin.
I was looking at some of the pictures, and it is a beautiful place, and I'm sure that the pictures don't do it justice, but it looks like a big old antebellum home somewhere in the South. It looks super, super serene. And so tell us a little bit about who would be coming there to get services.
Well, we have 2 floors. So we have a 12-bed floor where women from anywhere can come for services there. We also have an 18-bed floor where folks are referred from the Department of Corrections, so their probation agents will refer them in. Many of the individuals coming in are on Medicaid. Lots of them are coming from custody. Many are homeless. Lots of folks coming in with little to nothing, and they're just seeking help to try to make a change in a life or death situation.
Yeah, I was reading some of the statistics, and about 70,000 people die each year from opiate use. And so you providing that intervention for women and a safe, soft place for the land is really, really great. So you have a wonderful event coming up, and David, you are going to be the ride captain. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So walk us through the event. When is it? You're leaving from Wisconsin, Harley. So tell us a little bit about what everyone can expect.
So registration will be from the event is on September 16th this year. We will be leaving from Wisconsin Harley at 10 o'clock. Will be kickstands up. Registrations will be from 8:45 to 9:45. We will be going through the lovely Kettle Moraine Valley, but before we do that, we will actually ride by Bethany House, the Bethany Center,
Wow,
and ride through the parking lot. The women will be outside, and we're just going to show them the support with all the bikers riding through at the beginning of the ride. From there, we'll go through Kettle Moraine. We'll make a quick stop at Sullivan Saloon. There'll be pizza waiting for us there. We're going to have activities there, raffles, everything else. And then from there, we'll take another 40-minute ride through Kettle Moraine, go to Knucklehead, again, activities there. And then from there, we'll just go back to Wisconsin Harley, who is providing food, providing music, and everything else. And then we're going to have more games there. I'm thinking about having a slow ride competition with 100% payback. We're going to have raffles 50-50. There is a rumor that we have a 7-day, 7-night vineyard trip that we're raffling
I
on.
saw that with a
Yeah.
$2,500 value.
Looks like fun.
Who wouldn't want to win that?
Right.
Heather, who is a trauma nurse out here in Las Vegas, says, I love that. What great support for a great cause. So we want to welcome some of our other viewers and listeners. Lawrence, hi, great to see you. Jess, John Baker, hola, he says, and Tammy Potter, along with others like Ginger. So welcome. Give it a like, give it a share. So I saw on your flyer, there was one side that said rumors, some of the rumors of things that might be going on. You also are expecting possibly some appearances.
Yeah, so we have music booked. It's on the rumor side right now. We're waiting for them to just send the contract back. So I have a rumor size, it kind of builds up excitement. Are they really going to have this? Is this really going to happen? So it just gives that little level of suspense right there. And, talk to Mike from the Hog out here, and he said he could possibly make it. So, it's rumor. If he shows up, great. I'm going to put him to work. He doesn't know that yet.
I
so
like that.
watch
I'm going
this.
to start rumors about Jared showing up in different places because
That's going to increase expectations.
that would be great. We love
Well, and you do whatever you can do to promote it. I used to work for a nonprofit before that was a bereavement center for children, and Illinois changed their state laws back in the late 90s, early 2000, which required licensing, which was going to cost $25,000 for each counselor. And they just couldn't do it, and they had to close their doors. And it was such a sad thing because they helped those children so much. And it's hard to watch something go down that's actually helping people. So this is, to help make sure that these doors can stay open and these women get help that they need.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I like the ride through the facility. We saw a lot of that during COVID when people couldn't get out, a lot of areas where they couldn't go and visit their loved ones and the older people in homes. And it just gives them a glimmer of hope, like somebody really does care. And bikers sure do make a lot of racket when they pull in. So I'm sure they will love that.
It's a lot of audible proof that we care.
Yes.
It certainly is. And Susan, do you ride?
As a passenger, I do. I'm thinking about maybe getting a bike next year, but right now I'm a passenger.
That would be great. I know that day is going to be super, super busy, and you are going to be the conductor bringing up the clarinets and the trumpets and everything. But it would be pretty cool if you could jump on the back for, some photo ops or something, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I'll be riding on the back with David as we lead the pack.
That's fantastic. That's really great. Okay. And so David, bikers love to get involved with these kind of charities and things. And I don't think enough credit goes out sometimes to how much motorcycle groups and influencers like yourself do to help advance things like this charity that somehow has become near and dear to your heart. So when people see a big pack of motorcycles out there, give some of our listeners some advice. What can they do to help make it safer or more fun? And, what do you expect from those cars and vehicles that are going to be out there sharing the road with this event that day?
Right. So we have an advantage on the first part of the ride where we're actually working with the Economowoc police. So they're going to escort us through Economowoc. So that's a big help. But what a lot of people don't realize, because of all the negative news that's always shown on the news about bikers and biker gangs and all that stuff, they just think it's a bunch of hoodlums, and they don't really care. They don't understand that there's a lot of time, effort, money involved in setting up a charity event like this. And when we ride together, we want to be a pack. So don't try and cut in the line. If you see a pack coming through and you're at a stop sign, be patient. Let that pack through. Safety is a concern. We don't want anybody to get hurt. So if we put a couple blockers up at an intersection, please just don't be impatient and try and run a bike over, or, oh, there's a gap in the line, I can make it. No, please don't do that. Just let the bikes through, let them do their charity run and raise money for a good cause.
Yeah, great. That's all wonderful, wonderful advice. Oh, Susan, where can people get more information about the event? Is there a pre-registration? I think they can save a little bit if they pre-register. Give all of our listeners some information on where they can go.
Well, David has done a phenomenal job setting up our website, and that is ride4recovery.org. So ride4recovery.org. Pre-registration is open. Yes, they will save. You can also register the morning of at the event. David, what would you like to add to that?
There's really not much more to that. I mean, we do have discounts on pre-registration, so there's options. So if you're a single rider, double rider, if you want t-shirts or not, they will save you. You're going to save anywhere from $20 up to $40, depending on if you're two up in t-shirts or not. So it's always advisable to pre-register. That way we know what we have. Pre-registration will close 2 days before the event, so we can make sure that we've got everything.
There's a QR code up there in the corner that our producer Corey has put up for us. So you can actually scan that QR code, Ride for Recovery, and it'll take you directly to where you can register. Thank you, Corey. You're like a little magician. We love you.
They could also get more information on our Facebook site, and that is Facebook.com/Ride4Recovery WI.
Okay, that sounds great. And then also, Susan, what about Bethany House? Can you give our listeners just a little information on, if they are struggling and they'd like to try to come check in or come get come be a resident there? Where would they get information on that as well?
Well, you can go to bethany.org/recovery, or you can give us a call at 262-565-5265. That's 262-565-5265. They can talk to Wendy or Amanda. They are amazing intake coordinators. They will answer everyone's questions and get them on the road to recovery.
That's great. Tell us your greatest success story there, Susan.
Well, our greatest success story is Ashley. She actually works for us now. Ashley started there just a few days before I did, almost 2 years ago. She was there about 6 months. She went back out into the community, did everything that she learned, and just kept growing and growing. And we hired her a couple of months ago, and people love her. She's amazing. She has so much to offer. So we are really happy to have her on board with us.
Talking about a resident expert. That's fantastic. Yeah, that is great. And Jess is awesome. Awesome, Ashley. Way to go. And Jess has experience with a close family member that worked her way up through the system, is now the CEO of a big company that also caters to people that have substance issues. So way to go, Ashley. We are really cheering from you out. So, okay. Well, we want to thank you again for coming and telling us all about your Ride for Recovery on September the 16th. We look forward to, please send us some pictures to Open Road Radio so we can post them up for our listeners.
Absolutely. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We're going to say goodnight to you. I'm going to say goodnight to Jared as well. Jared, thank you for coming in and spending a little time with us.
Thanks for having me.
We love having you as a guest, but he's got lawyer stuff to do. So we're going to let him go do that. And we're going to take a short ad break. And when we come back, we're going to have Derek Bush on, and he's going to be telling us about his book that he wrote called The Gavel Gave Me life. So we're going to go pay some bills. Thank you for tuning in. Give it a like, give it a share, and we will be right back.
Motorcycle accident? Call Larry. Larry Disparty and the team at the Disparty Law Group know how to win motorcycle accident cases. Proudly serving bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin, Larry knows the law and he knows how to win. Insurance questions? Call Larry for a free policy review. And now Larry is giving away an incredible custom bike. Enter for a chance to win at the Brower House Tire Swarm Car and Bike Show every Thursday night. There's a reason why Disparty Law Group has been named one of the most influential law firms in the U.S. and has won more than $1 billion for their clients. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call Larry Disparty at 312-600-6000 and find out why bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin say Larry wins. Now, let's ride.
Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
Patriotic or personalized, Lumiflag adds a hint of illuminated safety showcasing your personality. Fits securely on your half-inch motorcycle luggage rack bar. Get one and change out the flag pullovers for your rally rides. Lumiflag is a new product offered exclusively with Open Road Radio. Order now for just $39.99. Lumiflag is made in the USA, assembled by young adults on the autism spectrum. Lumiflag offers them a chance to develop job and life skills, create professional connections, and foster independence. Go to www.lumiflag.com to order now.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are in Full Throttle Law Studio, but we are live at 1400 AM K Shop in Las Vegas and 107.1 FM. Welcome, everyone. And our new latest and greatest station, 92.5 in Chicago. So welcome. So we have a wonderful guest. It's a friend of mine that I met a few years ago. His name is Derek Bush, or D-Rock, and we are going to go ahead and bring him on so he can tell us all about his book and what led up to it. The gavel gave me life. Everyone, welcome D-Rock to the show. I can see his name on the screen, but I don't see him on video. Good evening. How you doing, D-Rock? Corey, we might be having a little difficulty. We'll give him just a second. I'm going to send him a little message and see if we can get him to log back in. I'm going to say to give him a quick shout out in the meantime. Uh-oh, I see something. That might be him. D-Rock, is that you coming in? I see a white wall. You might want to turn your camera around for us. I can see ya. Hey, Derek. D-Rock, you in the house? All right, so let me just give you a little bit about Derek and his book. So Derek is a veteran and from the Afghan and Iraqi war, and we want to talk to him a little bit about his book and what he is doing now, which is writing from basically a true story that he has made into a book about that. So Derek was wrongly incarcerated during COVID, and we know that during COVID, lots of folks did struggle getting their day in court. We've heard this over and over again, where folks were locked up for one reason or the other, and then couldn't get out because courts were not in session. And so Derek was one of those. Hey, Derek, I'm glad you're there. You are to join us. We can see your handsomeness now. So thank you. So welcome. So Derek, give us a little bit of background about you. He's also the president of a motorcycle club, Sick with It Riders. But just give us a little introduction and tell us about yourself.
Well, I am 47 years old. I did 21 years in the Marines. I don't know what you told them about me, but I'm the president of Sick With It Riders, which is a motorcycle club that started in Los Angeles, California in 2000. The Vegas chapter started in 2007. I've been with Sick With It since 2017, been the president since 2017. I've been riding since 1992. So I wrote this book based on like a situation I had. So that's basically it.
Yeah, so Derek and I met during COVID, and I met him around an event called Juneteenth, which didn't really have any knowledge of Juneteenth, and you got me involved in this event, and I learned a lot about some history that many Americans just really didn't know about. And so that kind of started yours and my friendship. So the book, I did say you, like a lot of others, kind of got caught up in the system and didn't really get your day because you were kind of off the scene for a minute. So walk us through the book, from the battlefield to the battlefield.
So basically the book tells my story about me and my friend Bone. His real name is Rashard, from San Bernardino. So instead of just like diving like straight in the story of like my my trial or whatever, I took it back to like how me and him connected, and basically like leading up to like my basically conviction. And now my second book is going to be about the overturning of my conviction. And my friend Bone, well, that's his street name, Bone. He's actually serving a life sentence now. So that's basically why I came up with The Gavel Gave Me Life. A lot of people think it's about me, but it's basically about his story. The first one is about me. The second one is his story. And it's basically like going on from, it's basically like the second book is like picking up from there. And that's basically it. But it's just like a story of preservation, like not giving up or whatever. So during my trial, of course, like you said, it was during like COVID. So I had two trials. So my first trial was a hung jury. The second trial, they convicted me of constructive possession of a firearm in commission of a crime. And that's basically what like my conviction was overturned for, because there was no DNA evidence, no fingerprints, no nothing connecting me to the weapon that was used in the so-called crime. So basically, I just got like a raw deal, and I was like sentenced on a 8 to 20. I ended up doing like a little over 2 years, and my conviction was overturned. And now I'm in appeals court trying to get compensated for my conviction. The last time I was there, they offered me $1.7 million to settle my case, and my lawyer turned it down. So that's where we at now.
So there really are people wrongly convicted. So, you hear about people that are in jail that, they say everybody that's in jail says they're not guilty, but there really are people that are wrongly convicted and wrongly incarcerated. And you're kind of a walking story about that, correct?
Yes, I am. And I like going around, like I really don't like talking about it that much, but a lot of people say you should tell your story. So that's why I came up with the book. And I'm like, this is the first thing not the first thing I ever written, because I wrote papers in school, but this is like the I wouldn't even say it was tough, because I wrote it in 18 days, but it doesn't take long to write the truth. It took me longer to get it published than it did to write it.
Yeah. So just read that you were recently selected as top 100 up and coming authors. That's a pretty cool title. I bet you weren't thinking about that 3-4 years
No,
ago when you went to write the book.
no, I really wasn't. Like I said, when they contacted me, that was like something like new. And then this other company contacted me called Inspire. Uh, they wanted me to submit my work, but I was tied up doing other things. But because it's within like the year time frame, so next year I'll submit for Inspire, which is like the new author within a 12 month time period. So I'll still be in that time frame. So I'll submit next year. But I was really wondering like what number I was in the top 100. So I guess it doesn't matter. I'm in the top 100.
Well, if you're not first, you're last. So we're just going to say you are the number one. But I think that's a big honor, regardless. To be, I don't know how many people, how many authors there are out there, but being selected in the top 100 of anything is quite an honor, and I'm really proud of you. Proud to hear that you were selected. And I read the book. It didn't take me 18 days to read it. I picked up your book. You signed a copy for me, and I began to read it on my trip to Atlanta, out to see my sister. And I was guilty of wanting to skip to the back of the book. Because it was getting kind of juicy in the middle. I'm sorry, it's a little juicy in the middle of the book, and I wanted to skip to the end. And it has all of the elements that you like in a good story. It's got the star, it's got the understudy, it's got girls and cars and Vegas nights and Los Angeles nights. It's got the making of a pretty good story. So tell us a little bit about the second story. Have you begun to write it? You getting it on paper?
Well, I already finished the second one and the third one. So and right now I'm in the process of helping another guy who just got released from like jail like about a couple months ago. And I'm helping him write a book called Married to the Streets. He's a gang member. Well, I guess he's a reformed gang member, but he had like a story to tell, and I met him while I was incarcerated, and he got out, and he kept in contact with me. And like I tell everybody, I'm like, if you want to stay connected to me, I'll give you my number. You got to reach out to me. I'm not going to reach out to you. He reached out, he gave me what he wrote, and like right now we've been like really like tightening it up. So his book probably come out before my second one, if not like immediately after. but his book is called Married to the Streets, and I guess I'm the co-author on his book. But it's pretty good though. I like to think so. I didn't even read my book until I was locked up.
Ah, okay. So it's cool. So now you the teacher has become a mentor. You're like mentoring someone on writing a book. You know, everybody wants to write a book. Everybody you know, I want to write a book. I want to write a book about my my ride on the 48 states. That was a pretty cool adventure, but I wouldn't know the first thing about how to get a book published or how to start it, or, you know, storytellers don't necessarily have what it takes to put their thoughts on paper either. So, what kind of advice would you give to someone that does want to write a book?
Well, the first thing I say is like put your thoughts on paper. I'm like, uh, I just took it one step at a time. First, uh, I literally wrote this from jail, so I still got the papers where I like wrote it. And then after I got out, I typed it up. And then after that, I started searching for like publishing companies or whatever. And then after I found like a publishing company, I like got like an editor or whatever. Like my editor took like 2 days to like edit my book, and she was like, yeah, it ain't really too much to edit. Like the grammar was there. She was like, it was the making of a good hood story. And uh she was like, it's better than some of these authors that been around for like years, decades and stuff like that. So basically, like, you gotta believe in the story. I'm like, ain't nobody else gonna push your product better than you. Anybody know that? But I'm like, she said my only shortcoming is I don't like to be on camera. I don't like to be in film on front of videos and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get out of that. I'm like, you know, I told the story. I don't gotta be in the I that was it. I just wanted to tell a story, and that
That's
was
fine.
it.
You can tell the story, but the only way you're going to sell books is to get out there and tell people about your books, and you're great on camera. So, I mean, you might as well get out there and do it. So, it might have the makings of a movie, I hear.
Oh yeah, so coming in October, like the lady who did that old show, well, I'm quite sure you and I probably know the show The Real World. So she's sending a camera crew out here to follow me around for like 30 days in preparation for the release of my second book, which I supposed to release in like November. And then after that, we're gonna start doing like little. We're supposed to be taking little short scenes from the book and making like reels or skits or stuff like that, just to promote it. We got a couple people that work for like Tubi, who wants to like start like working with me on trying to like make it like a Tubi movie. But
A Tubi
I'm
movie. Sounds great.
I'm trying to be behind the camera, but they talk about
Who would play you? Okay.
no.
Who, like, if you could pick anyone to play you in the movie version, who would it be?
You know who I really would like to see do it, and he was like one of those guys that I really like as like a actor was Derek Luke. When he was in Biker Boys, I said, oh my goodness, that's what really like got me to really continue riding motorcycle, was seeing him in Biker Boys.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna send a call out to him. Derek, tell them where they can get your book, please.
Oh, so you can find my book on my website, www.thegavelbooks.com, and it's also available on Amazon. But I tell people to go to my website, order it. There's discounts and stuff for like if you purchase more than one book, book club bundles, and I'm trying to get my my publicist want me to the next book club that orders the book club bundle. Now I got to go out and hang around with their book club and
You
discuss
can
the book.
scan on the QR code that our producer Corey just put up. So, hey, Derek, D-Rock, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that. And you and I'll see you on September the 23rd for your book signing at the Bling to
Yeah.
Vicinity event.
Yes, and I
All
look
right.
forward to seeing y'all. All right.
I can't wait to see you. All right, Derek. Good night. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we've got just a few minutes left, and we're going to go ahead and pull some upcoming events. Of course, Thursday nights at the Brower House. But what you're seeing right here, Mama Gina sent this to me. It is a bike night at Pit Wildfire HD in Villa Park, Illinois. That's coming up. So check out openroadradio.com and you can see all of these great events that are coming up. The next one is what we say, the Bike Swarm, which is at the Brower House, Tire Swarm, I'm sorry, every Thursday night with live music, barbecue, pulled pork, street corn. So get out there to that. And this month kicks off the Bling Divas Motorcycle Club's 7th annual Peanut Butter Drive. So you can go to that QR code as well. And every year we collect peanut butter, which is donated to 3 Square, one of Feeding America's largest food banks, and 1 pound feeds 6 hungry Americans in the community. So we want to thank you all for coming out tonight. And thank you to our guest, Susan. Don't forget, Ride for Recovery is going to be on September the 16th. Registration 8:45 to 9:45 at Wisconsin Harley Davidson. So you all have a wonderful evening. Las Vegas, Chicago, Coast to Coast Motorcycle Mondays. You can join us every Monday live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. And Gina and Penny, FXR, we will see you next week on Motorcycle Mondays. Have a good evening.
Thank you for tuning in to America's premier motorcycle talk show, Open Road Radio.
Hey, thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoyed the ride.